Hello, freedom lovers, nonconformists, and lovers of the free and open internet, or those who think it should be. I have an update on CCPA, necessary but useless, and on Artistworks, CCPA, data portability request, violation complaint. CCPA data portability, necessary but useless. I made a video to discuss why that particular clause of that law is necessary and also why it's totally useless. Now, again, as I covered in that video, data portability allows users to get their data back from service providers so they can then port it to another platform if they choose to. This is useful in the age of cancel culture, censorship, equity, social justice, and things of that nature, where platforms may change their terms or may change their policy, which might not even be reflected in terms, but observable policy where they will delete, censor content, and users say, hey, I don't want any more of this. Give me all my content back. I want to keep that. And maybe someday in the future, I'll put it on a blog. I'll make a story about it, report it to the news, something. You can get your data back. It's your data. You got a right to get that back under the law. Sounds like a good idea. Unfortunately, it's totally useless, and the reason is that it comes down to the Office of the Attorney General. The Office of the Attorney General, under CCPA, is in charge of handling request violations. Now, if a company is issued a request to provide to the user their user's data, the company violates the law and says no, or they, for whatever reason, they give you what I've gotten from change.org, for example, is instead of getting my data back, I get a list of links. Hypertext links in a PDF. It's not my data. This is a list of links. It's not a list, not data in human and machine readable format. It's a list of links. I want all of my data back. So, and furthermore, change.org has deleted a bunch of them, so they're blank. So you click on the link and it's blank. You don't get your data back from change.org. They violate the law, and they do so probably with impunity. And the reason that I say that has been the updated clause in this California Privacy Rights Act, which Californians voted to pass November 2020. Sounds like it's going to strengthen consumer rights. It does the opposite, and I'm going to explain why in this video. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So, California Privacy Rights Act, we'll get to that in a minute. But California Consumer Privacy Act of 2018 doesn't actually protect consumer rights because the Office of the Attorney General is tasked with enforcing that. And if the Office of the Attorney General gets a complaint, they can take action if they want to. Well, how good is that? What if they don't want to? So then you filed a complaint, you filed a request for your data, you didn't get you waited and you waited and you waited, you didn't get your data back. Now keep in mind, you have to figure out how to file the request for your data in the first place, and most people don't even know the law exists. They don't even know they can get their data back. A lot of people don't even know the law exists, so they're not going to ask, oh, my post was deleted, I want it back. Oh, too bad, you can't get it. And they don't know they can get it back, or the law says they can get it back, at least. Now, if you know the law and you know that the law says you can get it back, you can request it back, and the company might not want to give it back to you. All right, they might have it somewhere and they just don't want to give it to you, so they won't. And so what do you do then? Well, you got to file a complaint. Say, hey, I requested my data from the provider didn't give me back my data. Okay, and then the Office of the Attorney General can take a look at that complaint, and they'll send a letter to the company and say, hey, you know, are you going to give this user their data back? They wanted their data. And if the company says, oh, we don't know, we don't have the data, we don't know anything, the Office of the Attorney General may say, well, who knows? The user said they requested data, the company says they don't have any data, so what can we do? And the Office of the Attorney General will play dumb and pretend to be lazy. Or if they choose to take action, now here's the place where discrimination is openly invited. It says you can take action wherever you see it's fit. And in this day and age, when social equity is considered to be a good thing, and equity means racism, they'll decide that if they want to support maybe a certain group, they say, hey, we've got a complaint from some minority group, a particular, oppressed minority group, and they're making a complaint about this business, and we're going to take action because we want to support that minority group. But if they get a complaint about some other type of thing that doesn't fit into one of their protected categories, they don't have to care. They don't have to care anyway, one way or the other. If they don't like you for whatever reason, they don't have to care. They can discriminate and not even give a reason. They don't have to take action. That's the problem. And in fact, that's exactly what the Office of the Attorney General does. The reason that this is actually harmful has to do with the California Privacy Rights Act, CPRA. CPRA was passed by California voters to strengthen the California Consumer Privacy Act. This was voted in November of 2020, and it went into effect right away after it was passed. But what it says is that it explicitly states in the law, in the bill, in the text of the bill before it was passed, and in the law, which has been amended, that the Office of the Attorney General may take action if they feel like it, and if they don't feel like it, they don't have to. It further states that here's some good reasons why the Office of the Attorney General might not want to take action. And the first reason is that the company in question didn't do it on purpose, right? Well, we didn't do it on purpose. We just accidentally deleted the user's data. Delete, oops, it was an accident. Now, this is a huge problem when you think about the fact that users have been getting deleted and be getting banned, and then the company will then, in response to social media or outpourings on social media, the company will then say, oh, it was an accident that your account got banned. And in fact, it has happened to me. I have had my accounts suspended, complained to the company, and the company then turned around and said, oh, we're sorry, it was an accident. What they really mean is that somebody in the company made the decision to do something, and then they're going to change it and they're going to reverse the decision. I'm not the only person this has happened to. Now, Brett Weinstein, who runs the Dark Horse podcast, has the same thing with with his account. He had an account on Facebook, and he claims that his account was suspended, and then he went to Twitter and he talked about it on Twitter. A bunch of people made a big deal about it, mentioning Facebook. Facebook, realizing what a huge deal it was, decided to turn it around and say it was an accident that we suspended your account. That was just an accident. Okay, so if it was an accident, why did they previously say that it was a decision that could not be reversed, could not be appealed? And then when he appealed it, they continued to say that it could not be appealed. When he tried to raise the issue with Facebook, couldn't get anything done. You see, so this is where we have the problem. When companies decide they want to delete your data and then go to the Attorney General and say, well, hey, we don't know anything about this. We don't have the user's data anymore. And the Attorney General says, well, okay, we're not going to do anything. The reason it's actually worse, CPRA is worse than the CCPA, is because of this clause. And furthermore, companies may, in the process of refusing to comply with the law, maybe cast you in a bad light, which is exactly what Artistworks did to me. Artistworks turned around and told the Attorney General that I had lied to the Attorney General. Artistworks said that I had asked Artistworks to delete my content. A lie. What I had done is I had issued Artistworks a CCPA data portability request. Artistworks refused to comply with the law, didn't give me my data. They claim they deleted it, but now they've presented with the Office of the Attorney General the claim that they deleted it, the claim that I asked them to delete it, and in fact, they even provided some of the data that I had submitted on their website. And they used that data taken out of context to make salacious, false claims about me. So, if the data was deleted, how can they simultaneously have it? Right? You can't have your cake and eat it too. It doesn't work that way, right? This is a basic, obvious contradiction of reality. You can't have the content that you've already deleted. That's just an impossibility. Furthermore, if they did delete it, they have to provide a reason for why they deleted it. And if the reason is that they're claiming that I made a CCPA deletion request, they need to furnish that request to the Office of the Attorney General and say, see, on this date, Garrett Smith requested we delete his content. However, since I never asked them to delete my content, they are incapable of furnishing such evidence. So, in the process of filing the CCPA data portability request on Artistworks, Artistworks has made libelous claims about me, And the Office of the Attorney General has read those libelous claims and prima facie, without any evidence, decided to accept those claims as true and dismiss lazily, without further investigation, the claims that I have made to assert my rights. So in this audit of consumer rights, Artistworks has failed. Unsurprisingly, Office of the Attorney General has also failed. Unsurprisingly also. The CCPA is not just useless, it's harmful. You will waste your time, and I encourage you to actually waste your time filing these complaints and making videos that you file the complaints to show how useless the law is. Right? We're not going to fix the internet by pretending that the internet is being, the free and open internet is being protected by ostensible consumer rights laws, when those very laws don't actually protect any consumer rights, and instead encourage users to take time and waste time to try to get their data back, and the Office of the Attorney General doing absolutely nothing but getting extra money from you, the taxpayer, and from me, anyone who pays taxes, pays extra money to the Office of the Attorney General, right? An office of a bunch of Democrats, and we know that Democrats are the party that loves big business. Used to be Republicans when I was growing up. Republicans used to be kind of bought out by the big businesses. And the Democrats were about the little guy, about the worker, about civil liberties, freedom of speech, things like that. And I supported some of those things, but I always thought that Democrats were too weak on those things. So I was more of a more radical libertarian mindset, where I really, free speech extremist. And being a very radical and nonconformist type of person, of course, the Democrats are still very tepid and mild and mealy-mouthed about their policies of supporting this and that and the other thing. Now, it seems to be the Republicans which tend to be more on the side of civil liberties. And what we have in the Office of the Attorney General is, of course, California, a Democrat state. So that's what you get. And as far as California Privacy Rights Act, again, not useless, harmful. Thank you for watching.